Ancient Egypt has fascinated the world for centuries. But what if I told you that beneath the pyramids and golden tombs, there are secrets so shocking, even scientists fear what they found? New discoveries are rewriting history, some defying logic, others revealing terrifying truths about how far the Egyptians were willing to go for power, immortality, and control. From horrifying burial rituals to scientifically impossible artifacts, these discoveries will change the way you see ancient Egypt forever. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to hear is beyond belief. Servants buried alive with their pharaohs. Ancient Egyptians believed death was not the end, but the beginning of an eternal journey. But for some, that journey began in the most horrifying way imaginable. When a pharaoh died, he wasn't buried alone. He was accompanied by his most trusted servants, but not as statues, as human sacrifices. Archaeologists have uncovered tombs containing dozens, even hundreds, of servants buried alive, positioned in disturbing ways around the king's resting place. One of the most shocking discoveries was made in Abydos, where researchers found the tomb of Pharaoh Jer, dating back 5,000 years. Inside, over 300 bodies, many showing signs of violent execution, proof that they weren't willing participants. For centuries, it was believed these servants went to their deaths willingly, hoping to serve their ruler in the afterlife. But modern examinations suggest something much darker. Many were likely forced or drugged before being buried alive. Over time, the Egyptians abandoned human sacrifice, replacing it with shabti figurines, small statues meant to magically serve the pharaoh in the afterlife. But the question remains, how many lost tombs are still hidden beneath the sands, containing evidence of this brutal practice? Pharaohs who married their own siblings. In ancient Egypt, marriage wasn't about love. It was about power, divinity, and preserving the throne. For centuries, Egyptian pharaohs married their own siblings, not out of romance, but to keep their bloodline pure and maintain absolute rule. This controversial tradition was inspired by the gods themselves, Osiris and Isis, divine siblings who ruled together. Pharaohs believed that by mirroring their divine ancestors, they too would be seen as living gods, strengthening their claim to the throne. But this came at a terrible cost. One of the most famous cases was King Tutankhamun, the son of Pharaoh Akhenaten and his own sister. Scans of Tutankhamun's mummy revealed deformed bones, a clubfoot, and severe genetic disorders, showing that centuries of inbreeding had taken its toll on Egypt's rulers. This was not an isolated case. Cleopatra, Ramses II, and many other pharaohs followed this tradition, believing it was necessary to keep their lineage divine. However, as generations passed, the genetic weaknesses became more severe, leading to rulers who were physically frail, prone to disease, and unable to produce healthy heirs. By prioritizing power over biology, the Egyptian elite may have unknowingly accelerated their own downfall. In their pursuit of divine status, they ignored a fundamental truth: no dynasty can survive forever. Baboons were used as police officers. Imagine walking through an Egyptian marketplace and suddenly witnessing a baboon chasing down a thief. As strange as it sounds, ancient Egyptians trained baboons to assist in law enforcement, using their intelligence and agility to patrol markets, guard temples, and track down criminals. These highly adaptable primates were believed to be sacred animals connected to Thoth, the god of wisdom, which may explain why they were chosen for such an unusual role. Archaeological findings, including hieroglyphic depictions and burial sites, suggest that baboons were considered more than just animals. Some were even given ceremonial burials, a treatment typically reserved for humans of importance. This indicates that they held a special status in Egyptian society, likely as officials of the state rather than mere pets or guards. But how did they work as law enforcers? Some were trained to recognize certain individuals, chase down thieves, and even hold on to them until human guards arrived. Their speed, strength, and sharp instincts made them surprisingly effective at keeping order in busy public spaces. This bizarre yet ingenious tradition proves one thing: the ancient Egyptians knew how to harness the natural world to their advantage in ways that continue to fascinate us today. Slaves covered in honey to attract flies. Pharaohs were worshipped as living gods, and nothing was allowed to disturb their divine presence, not even a single fly. To ensure their comfort, a shocking solution was devised. Servants, often slaves, were covered from head to toe in honey and stationed near the pharaoh to act as human fly traps. The sweet scent attracted all the insects away from the ruler, allowing him to dine, rest, or conduct royal duties completely undisturbed. This was the ultimate display of power and luxury, where even the smallest inconvenience was eliminated, no matter the cost. Historical accounts suggest this practice was reserved for the most opulent courts, showcasing how pharaohs held absolute control over life and death. While the ruler basked in divine comfort, these unfortunate individuals endured hours of torment, covered in sticky honey as swarms of flies clung to their bodies. It's a disturbing reminder of just how far ancient Egypt's elite went to maintain their untouchable status, even if it meant turning people into living sacrifices to their own convenience. The protective power of Egyptian makeup. In ancient Egypt, makeup wasn't just for beauty, it was a powerful shield against both spiritual and physical threats. Men and women alike lined their eyes with bold black and green pigments, creating the signature look we associate with pharaohs and gods. But this wasn't just about fashion, it was about protection. The black coal, made from ground galena, was believed to have mystical properties that could ward off evil spirits and bring the wearer under the divine protection of Horus and Ra. But recent studies reveal something even more astonishing. The lead-based minerals in Egyptian makeup had antibacterial properties, helping to prevent eye infections caused by the harsh desert conditions. The scorching sun, swirling sand, and relentless dust posed a daily threat. But this makeup acted as an early form of medicine, shielding the eyes from irritation and disease. Even Egyptian warriors wore eye paint into battle, believing it would grant them strength, clarity, and divine favor. This wasn't just an ancient beauty trend. It was a blend of science, superstition, and survival, proving once again that the Egyptians were far ahead of their time. What other secrets still lie beneath Egypt's sands? Ancient Egypt was a land of unmatched power, mystery, and innovation, where the line between life and the afterlife, science and superstition, cruelty and divinity blurred in ways that still astonish us today. From pharaohs who married their own siblings to slaves covered in honey to serve as living fly traps, these bizarre traditions reveal just how far the Egyptians would go to honor their gods, maintain their rule, and defy the limits of nature. But if these customs have already been uncovered, what else is still waiting beneath the sands? History has a habit of surprising us, and one thing is certain: Egypt's greatest secrets are yet to be found. Which of these strange traditions shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments.